what can the matter be? This Hoover Senior Suppressor blew up on me. Bang and crash and flash right in front of me. Now my pants are in the wash. Hola amigos, hola amigas, Dorian here from Hoover Lux. Welcome, bienvenido, croeso, salam alaikum. Welcome to the channel, y'all. Chesh and Yakshi Mash, good day. So I am joined here with Millie and Furby and this. And I'm wearing my Dale Who t-shirt for you. So I know it's not a Hoover Junior, but I thought I'd wear it for you today. So yes, as you saw from that little ditty, or heard from that little ditty, this Hoover Senior Co-op Special Edition, even though it looks in mint condition and it worked very well, we had issues with it. So when I took it to the meet on the long weekend, I was using it. We were, doing the last bit of the demo, which was absolutely fine. And the boys were there, and I was having a look at the underneath of it, and it was on. And I pushed the button for the increased power. So when you put in the tool, so that you can do handheld stuff, it was fine. And then boom, the power went out. So we thought, oh, because there was like washing machines going on and stuff, we just thought maybe it was one of them. Then every time you tried to plug it in, it kept going and cutting and cutting and cutting the power, and that was the end of that. So then I came home, and the following day I was like, oh, I'll just plug it into, inside the house, see what happens. And I plugged it in, and there was an almighty explosion and flash and smoke and smell, and well, it was horrendous. But the thing about it was, it still kept running. As I was running towards the plug to try and switch it off at the wall, the power didn't go out, but the vacuum cleaner was still going. And I was like, oh my god, it was a nightmare. So anyway, switched it off, unplugged it, and it's been left down there for a few days while I was finishing off the rollers repeat and doing some other stuff. Today is the day we have a look and see what the damage is. So I'm armed with my cup of coffee. Oh, it's a lot cooler today. And yes, let's take a look inside, if we dare. So I haven't looked at this, I haven't had a sneaky peek or anything. I've literally just brought it into the workshop and put it on the bench. So I don't want to scratch my lovely polished surface. So let's turn it over. Now initially, we can't see any damage, but I can't smell anything burning. So what I'm going to do is remove this plate. Oops. Just to have a look and see if there's anything visually. Nope. That sounds okay. That looks okay. Let's put this back on. So having screws on this is a right pain in the bum, I have to say. So I'm going to be removing 2 screws to remove the hood. Come on. don't want to take off the hood until you guys can see. Okay, are we ready? Whoa! Oh my God, look at that. That just went with a bang. So I'm gonna have to take that inside. As you can see, that suppressor went with a bang. It's all black, bits of carbon dust and clank and ugh. Jeepers creepers. What a mess. These suppressors, I mean, this machine hasn't been used very often, so it just was one of those things where the suppressor just decided to go pop on it. So yeah, it's in a bit of a mess, but it's not broken. It's all fixable. Let's just vacuum off some of the burnt bits. Got some wipes to hand, and I'm going to put on a pair of gloves because that's quite messy. What I want to try and do is just try and remove as much of the smoke damage. I can't stress enough how important it is to remove the suppressors from these old machines. I understand why they had them, to stop interference back in the day, but jeepers creepers, there must have been some other solution. That was the first time one of these has popped on me. I mean, it burns on. There's nothing much to clean off because it just burns on. Comes off the plastic pretty well. I just hope I can get it all off the... I wish I was recording it. I know. I wish I had been recording it for you guys to see, because I have... It was very, very impressive. Very, very impressive, that explosion. And it just kept running. Admittedly, horribly. Right. Now that I can see the cables, that helps. So I can see what I'm connecting and disconnecting. Because I've never worked on these machines, so I really don't know the ins and outs of them very well. I think once I've done one, I'll be fine. Right. That's enough of that. Let's get a cloth and just dry it up. Oh, have a lovely cup of coffee. Now, my little beasties. Where do we start? think it's best if I get you directly over it so you can see what I'm doing. Right, okay, first of all, let's release the suppressor. Wow. Jeepers creepers. Where do I start? Right. Right, so that's the suppressor cover removed. I'm going to put this screw back in because that seems to be pretty detrimental to holding the top on. Let me loosen off this clip so I can see what we're dealing with. So this white wire goes all the way to here. Which goes directly into this side of the carbon brush. Look at that, what an explosion. The red one then goes into here. I'm gonna have to try and join these cables up somehow to bypass which is gonna be easier said than done. Both of these go to the light. Go to the light, Carol Ann, go to the light. So what I'm going to try and do, because this is extremely confusing, is do it one at a time. Do it one at a time. I'm going to remove this rubber cover protector. Without cutting the wire. There we go. So let me unclip this. Which goes around here, around the mulberry bush. Through this bajonki. And then goes directly into that. So the other side of it, which is this one here, has also got a little rubber cover on it, so I'm going to have to remove that. Okay. Pull it back. Now there's another little cover. A plastic sleeve, which I'm going to remove. Right, so basically this needs to get connected up to this wire. So if I snip it here, remove that, snip this here, to remove that. What I have to do is to connect these two wires up, so that's a bit long, so I can definitely make that shorter. So what I need to do is to connect these two wires up together. Voila. And this red wire goes straight into here and then straight down into the motor. So I'm going to unplug the burnt end here, and then this end there. So wow, that is the exploded suppressor. So when I was at the meet at the weekend, it's very good because obviously their electric around the house was sensitive enough to trip it so that the suppressor wouldn't explode. But the power in this house is actually quite it's quite powerful. So it blew the suppressor and then carried on letting it work. It didn't actually cause a trip in the circuitry, which kind of scares me in a way, but it has worked in the past, so there's nothing wrong with it. Alright, I'm just cleaning up as much of the burnt stuff as I can. There we go. So this wire here at the other side goes to the other light switch. And I need to connect this to this. I need to connect these two up to bridge the gap. So what I'm gonna do, as this wire is so short, I'm going to use my soldering kit. I'm going to cut the wire off here as well, short, and then I'm going to use my soldering kit to solder a wire, which will possibly be this piece, although I do have, hang on a second, this wire. I always keep the spares bits of wires for stuff just like this, to be honest. So then what I will do then is bridge these two wires together like so, completely bypassing the suppressor. Right. Let me get the rest of my kit ready that I need. and we will start fixing this up. I'm going to do a permanent job on it, so I'm going to be using the soldering kit, the soldering set that I have to solder the wires together, because I don't want these coming apart or becoming loose. So I really want them to be really well put together, so I'm going to be soldering them. So okay guys, I'll see you in a minute once I've set everything up. So I got my little tripod that I normally use for washing machines up on the bench, but because we got the nice kind of solid bench, you're not going to vibrate around as much as you would in the other one. So I thought, aha, I'll use that. Okay, so the soldering gun is at temperature. I've got my little pack here of soldered thingies. What do you call them? These. So this is what we're going to do to the first one. So the wire is going to be pretty short, so I'm going to cut back further than I need, so don't worry. It's just so that I can measure. Now I would just normally just connect the wire up to here, but this is a kind of like special connector into it, so I'm doing it this way. So let's kind of judge, because you need these to go into the heat. You can trim them if they're too short, but you can't trim them if they are too long. So I'll put this one on first. That's a bit long actually. So I'll slide this over first. There we go. Make them the same length. And splay them together. I'm going to put a little dab of solder just to hold them together. Get in there, you stupid thing. Okay, oh, that stupid thing. it's a bloody dog's dinner. I'm going to have to bloody cover it now in electrical tape. I think this is only the second time I've used that. It's a learning curve, so if any of you guys can give me some advice on how to do this properly, your advice is appreciated. Anyway, that's the wired dog's dinner. Good thing I don't claim to be an expert. Right, so that is that. Connected up. Now I have to connect this one over to this one. I'm not impressed with them. So this wire here, this red one, is very, very, very short. Excellent. This is the wire I'm going to be using to bridge it. To bridge it Bardo. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to use those. I'm going to solder these wires together. And I'm going to use a piece of heat shrink. Use a bigger one. Just like these boys. And I'm going to heat. I wish that thing would stay in place. Now I'm going to heat shrink this. Onto it. Like so. Kept this bit off. As high up as I can. I will put the shrink wrap on. trim the wire. Solder this together. Heat. There we go. I'm going to use a little cable, 2 cable ties. And cable tie it to this. Probably is a better way of doing this. This is the first time I've ever done it, so I'm playing by ear. Just cable tie in this side as well. Right. Hopefully that's going to work. So we've bypassed the suppressor completely. We put that screw, we put that back on, everything's all cleaned up. I've reconnected the wires up, going and avoiding what was the suppressor. So I think it's time for a test. Sounds a little bit flaky now. Why do you sound a bit flaky? I should put some oil in here while I've got it open. Right, let me leave that oil soak in for a little while, and then I will remove any excess. Otherwise it'll just go pfft. Okay, let me remove the excess oil from there. And replace that. So I'm not going to tighten them up yet, I'm just going to screw them on. Now, why is that being a bugger? I think I'm going to remove the belt. Because the belt seems to be pulling on the motor. There we go. That's better. Now I'm putting this back on for the reason of spacing. Right, let's try that again. Okay, that sounds better. Right, next job is to sort out this. So I'm going to have to wash this and try and scrub the black off it, so we'll see how we get on. There we go, cleaned up as best as I can get it. It's a bit of a bugger because you wash it and it's like carbon dust. The particles of burn just go and touch everything, so you have to keep constantly rinsing it and cleaning it and rinsing it to make sure that it's all off. Let me get a cloth. Excuse me. Okay, almost got rid of the evidence of the explosion. Now I can put the lid back on. Flip her over. I can put these screws back in. On. The correct way. Yep. Now I can put this back on. Plug it back in, switch it on. Right, so I'm just going to put it on the ground and just give it a test. What is making that bloody rattling noise? It's that belt. This rubbish bloody belt that I bought. belt rubs on this. It's almost as if the belt is too thick. Let me have a look and see if I got any genuine ones. So yes, I do have a genuine one. These are just a bit too big. This is tighter. This is the way it's supposed to be. I think they're for an older senior or something, or convertible, but that is much better, and it is a genuine belt. So, because it's got Hoover written on it, that's how I know it's genuine. Let's try it again, girls. I hate these screws. Right. Let me give it another go. That's better. Et voila! Give it a shine. Take off my sticky paw prints. And we finally got this one finished. So there we go, guys. That's today's video over and done with. What I'm going to try and do, as you can see here, let me just pin you down. These are all the, that's not, but these are all the spare bits that we have removed from here. Little nip and tuck has brought her back to looking like new again. So there we go. Thank you. Oh, there's the dogs over there sleeping. Zach's inside. So there we go, guys. Thank you for watching. Please comment, like and subscribe for more videos as the winter months start to approach us. Unfortunately, I will be doing more full house demonstrations with all the machines that I have refurbed this year, so you will see these guys in action doing some tests. I'll be putting down some sand and whatnot and whatever and doing more demos of these, so you will see them. Refurbs will slow down over winter, so please be aware of that. And it'll be more now on, well, wait, you know, I'm still going now, but there'll be more on kind of using these machines, testing them, see how they work on a more day-to-day basis. So anyway, I've waffled enough. Comment, like and subscribe. Share your videos on your social media. That helps me so much. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.